So, obviously, Caitlin Clark and Team USA is going to be something that people are going to talk about. People are going to talk about it throughout this Olympics because, again, it's not like, look, the games haven't started yet, and it is a near formality. I looked at the betting odds. They're almost, ironically, they're not quite as likely as Caitlin Clark winning Rookie of the Year, but they're almost as high as Caitlin Clark winning Rookie of the Year. And obviously, it is about a lot of, like, the hype in basketball is going to be about her. But we're going to be talking about Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley is a selector for the US women's national team. And this is what she had to say about Caitlin Clark. I can't actually show the video or show any of the clips because, again, currently in the process of sorting out a copyright strike. I think it should be sorted soon. But just until it is sorted, I'm not going to be even slightly risking anything. But before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are currently at 25.296 subscribers. If we can get 4 more by the end of the day, that would be insane. Obviously, it's really slowed down because, well, that's what's going to happen. But, I mean, see it right here. So, she said, if we had to do it all over again, the way she's playing, she would be in really high consideration of making the team because she's playing head and shoulders above a lot of people. But then Dawn Staley also said that, look, at the time, she was playing well, but she wasn't playing well enough. And it says it right here. The USA women's basketball team was announced on June 11th, so Clark was significantly judged on and impacted by the WNBA's brutal scheduling start. Not just 11 games in 20 days, but also against the league's best. Now she's thriving and enjoying her first time off since September. So she seems to have not necessarily cut the Mexico trip short, but the Mexico trip was not that long. She was seen in the that last comment is dumb, but like in the given the context of it all, that's just the dumb comments. It takes time to admit you've misjudged. Dawn always setting the bar for how to conduct yourself. So it's like, again, there's a reason why, even though ironically, I think Cheryl Reeve probably had more of a say than people think on this right here. I'd say she probably had more of a say than people think for Team USA. But it does show that even like someone on the selection committee, like Dawn Staley is one of the people on the selection committee, and she even had to admit, yeah, we probably messed up here. Yeah, this one probably was not the best thing in the world. We kind of messed up. And that's fine. That's fine. Like, at the end of the day, admitting you made a mistake is, like, it takes a lot to admit you kind of screwed up a bit. And that's, in fairness, what she's done. And look, I'm not going to lie. When the team was first announced on June the 11th, I just want to see if I can get even, like, the reaction to it was, the reaction wasn't, oh, Caitlin Clark should make the team because she's better than all these players. The reaction was, Caitlin Clark should make the team based on the fact that, oh, the sponsors, for the growth of the league, for the ratings. But at the same time, since then, there's a 0% chance. Everybody knows if the USA team was picked today, or if they did what every other country did and picked their team at the start of July and not pick their team so early, the reason why they picked their team so early is because of All-Star voting. It's because of the All-Star game. And they want to make a big deal about giving everyone their USA jerseys and everything and stuff. But no, you just picked the team so early. You picked the team way too early. And then, I do have a feeling that they did not think Chelsea Gray was going to play in the Olympics. I still stand by that. I don't think they thought Chelsea Gray was going to play in the Olympics. I reckon. So my theory about it all is that I think they probably thought Chelsea Gray was going to sit out the Olympics, and then that would give them a call to make. Whether it's bring Caitlin, or bring Ariel Atkins, or bring Skylar Diggins, or heck, maybe you try to convince Enrique to come. I don't know if that would really help at a point guard. But at that time, you were seeing Sabrina Ionescu starting to play really well at the 1. Even though she's been really, really good at the 2. She's been better at the 2 this year. Like, you can probably play Kelsey Plum at times the 1. Jackie Young can play the 1 a bit. They're probably confident enough with that. And then maybe they would have said, you know what? We don't know about Brittany Griner's health. We don't know what way she's going to come back in, which leaves the door open for a Bree Jones, a Leah Boston, a Angel Reese. So I think with that team, I would say this selection committee is shocked that this is the 12. I think they thought that they weren't going to have to go with that 12 and that they didn't want to face the backlash of bringing Caitlin Clark on the team. Because at the same time, we've heard from an insider that the Caitlin Clark effect was part of the reason why she wasn't picked for the team. And one person that is definitely not upset by the Caitlin Clark effect is Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley is not in any way affected or upset by the Caitlin Clark effect, like other people are. There are a lot of people in the WNBA, more so than anybody, the coach. The coach is, of all people, the she just isn't a fan. She's just not a fan. And again, it's not necessarily on her. She can pick whatever team she wants. The selection committee, the coach obviously has a say. Every time she's been like, when she's asked about picking the team, she goes, I didn't pick the team. And when she was asked, is there any regrets on not picking Caitlin Clark? Instead of just saying, like, I don't know. Instead of just giving the pure answer of, like, look, she's an incredible player, but we're confident in our team winning the Olympics. Bringing back the gold, she just goes, no. Like, you can tell she is, of all people in the WNBA, there's nobody that hates the Caitlin Clark effect more than Cheryl Reeve. As great as a coach she is, but fair play to Dawn Staley, because it takes a bit of the heat off the Team USA selection committee. I think it does. It takes a bit of the heat off her, because in fairness, I don't think anyone has ever disliked Dawn Staley. She's one of the greatest ever. She's a hell of a coach, and she just won a championship, and in general, like Dawn Staley's likable. She is one of the better coaches in the world. She's one of those female coaches that, if a female coach is to coach an NBA team, she might be one of the first to do it. Like, she might be, the first to do it. I think a female coach coaching an NBA team is going to happen. I don't know when it happens. We thought it was going to happen with Becky Hammon. But I do think that there's going to be a team with a young team, or like a coach with a young team. And the GM is like, you know what? I think it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk, because I think young players, as far as the like male, like, you couldn't give her a championship team straight away and do well, but I've noticed it more when it comes to like young male basketball players, and even like, and players that grew up playing with female coaches. Like the Gasol brothers would have never had any issue with a female coach, because they played for female coaches. Even like myself, I played for some really, really good female coaches growing up. So it's like, I think you're going to see it more and more in young players to be okay with it. But I could see Dawn Staley coaching in the NBA someday. I don't think it's going to be in the next 3 or 4 years, but I could see it happening. Either way, though, fair play, because look, the Olympics is happening. The team's probably going to win gold anyway, but at least it takes some of the heat off Team USA. So fair play, Dawn Staley. Saying what everybody already knew, but at least it's a case where it's like, even though everyone already knew it, it's good to just see it written down, to have an interview clip, and we then know that it was probably a case of they picked the team a bit early and she didn't make it, which is very obvious, and it's good to finally hear it, though. It's good to finally hear it. Shout out Dawn Staley.